Everybody, what is going on? It is Dunbar Snackbar here with MLB 14, the show, here on the PS4. I'm really excited about this since this is the first episode of Nolan Ryan's road to the show on the PS4. So in this video, I'll be giving you a little bit of an analysis on my thoughts of the game, what I like, what I think could be improved, and yeah, just overall thoughts and stuff. So first off, I want to thank everybody for just giving me a couple days before I ended up posting, because I actually have been pretty ill. Like tonight, I've got really, really bad chest pain, so I probably should get that looked at, but I'm doing this instead. Also had to recoup a little bit too, because drove from Cleveland to back home in Nebraska, and that took a while, and that took a lot out of me too. We did go ahead and pick up a new car for our family, so we got a 2010 Ford Escort. So I had to pick that up in Ohio and ended up driving it back to Nebraska. And got to see a few cool things along the way. Like we did get to see Progressive Field. I didn't get a chance to watch a game because we were so tight on time. But we were over seeing the USS Cod, which is a Gato-class submarine. It's a World War II. And that was awesome, getting a chance to be able to go inside a submarine. Like, they didn't add any doors or anything. Like, you climb inside through the hatch, and you get to walk through it and just see how crazy it would be to live in a submarine that size for such a long, long time. So mad props to everybody who's ever served on a submarine. That'd be really, really tough. But that was cool. And then we also stopped by Notre Dame on the way back, and I got to take a tour of the football stadium, at least on the outside. So which is cool, because being from Nebraska, you know, I know Husker history and everything like that. It's just always cool to be able to learn about the tradition and history of another respected football team. So yeah, that was really cool. And this is really cool too, this catch. So this gives you a chance to take a look at some of the fidelity here in this game. All right, so let's get to my analysis of the game. Again, this is just my own opinion on things. Just take it however you will. There have been a lot of mixed reviews from what I've been reading from people. A lot of it has been, you know, some people thinking that they were a little bit deceived by some of the stills and stuff in the game before it was released. But honestly, there's nothing that I think anybody was deceived on, really, because yeah, that fidelity is in the game, but only when you zoom in and stuff like that. And I don't think that that's a bad thing, because, you know, there's a lot of motion that's going on. You're not going to be able to catch a lot of the same fidelity and detail, things like that, as, when you do have something zoomed in. So obviously with motion, you won't catch that stuff. So I just want to get that out of there. Now, this game does play very similar, almost exactly, to the PS3 version of MLB 14, the show, and 13 as well. That, I think, is a really good thing, because if you look at other instances of when, like sports games or just games in general have had to go ahead and start from scratch for a new system, it hasn't been pretty. So the prime example for me on that is like NCAA 06. Like, the game was terrible when it first came out on the Xbox 360, and then of course they had to take a few years to improve it and get it back to where I thought it was as far as game wise. But here, not the case. So it's really just an improvement as far as graphics and things like that. So you could go ahead, you could pick up any version of the show that you've had before and just continue to play this. So that for me is a good thing. I'm glad that I got the PS3 version. That way I could just kind of make sure I got all acclimated and everything with the game beforehand. I am very impressed that and glad that they did go ahead and give you the ability to do cross-save from a PS3 to a PS4. So as far as like Nolan Ryan, the Athletics, the Jackie Robinson series that I do, it's all been able to move over just by uploading it to the cloud on the PS3 and then loading from the cloud here on the PS4. So I think that's huge for me and for some other people as well who may have gone ahead and chosen to upgrade from the PS3 to the PS4 version. A little bit more on graphics. The lighting on the game is just phenomenal, and that's, I think, the thing that stands out for me more than anything else. When you take a look at the Jackie Robinson series, and it might kind of show up here a little bit towards the end of this game, but there's some lighting, especially at night, that just blows my mind. So the fact that they got that down was huge. And that is the thing that I think is really defining this generation right now as far as graphics go, is the improvement in lighting capabilities. Because that's among one of the toughest things as far as rendering 3D to do, just because there's so much as far as calculations and stuff to kind of, or that has to be done to be like, okay, well, this is where, the light's going to be shining from. This is how the reflection's going to look, all that stuff. So they really got it down in this game. You can also tell as far as like the change from 720 to 1080. So that higher resolution does make a big difference as well, and it does make itself pretty noticeable throughout the game. Now, I kind of wonder how much you guys are going to be able to see just with the videos that I post, because there is something that's lost whenever you go from your TV to recording on an HD PVR. I mean, there's not as much contrast here as what you see on my TV, but yeah. So as far as things that I would like to see change, there's really not that many things, and a lot of this is just kind of nitpicking a little bit. So there still seems to be a little bit of a frame rate issue in some of the different clips and scenes and stuff like that, which kind of causes me to scratch my head a little bit, because there's other parts where there's more polygons, tougher with lighting and shading, but they still have that frame rate issue at some points, which will kind of manifest itself at different points probably throughout this video as well. But I think that's just because, porting over from the PS3 to the PS4. I don't know if there were some things that they had to intentionally lower frame rate on, but didn't get to, or what, but it does make itself a little bit noticeable. It kind of hurts a little bit. Also, you'll kind of, you won't be able to see it necessarily as much here as like you will with like Jackie Robinson or some other series where I'm at the plate. The backgrounds of the stadiums, I think, need to be updated with a little bit of a higher resolution, or maybe even implement some 3D there as well. I don't think that'll take too much processing power to actually get something, because with lighting being as huge as it is and like reflections and stuff like that, it might be kind of cool to implement something where you see 3D effects in the background, like the shadow changes is depending on where the sun is, stuff like that. That would be kind of nice. And also some higher resolution images for things like the advertisements that you see behind the batters. In the dugouts, I've kind of noticed there's been some pixelation there as well. That stuff is easy to fix. And again, just minor details. The biggest thing I would say, though, that really needs to be changed is there are some issues with shadows. We still see some pixelated shadows, especially around like the brim of the cap and everything like that when it's reflecting down onto the jersey. So that probably could be cleared up a little bit. And at night, too, when the lights are on, sometimes the straps on the catcher's padding and other parts as well will also be pixelated really bad, but there'll be multiple variations of it since you've got lights coming in from different angles, and that can just be a little bit distracting. But overall, I think that's nitpicking, or even something, as far as the shadows go, that's something that I think it can be fixed relatively easily. Now, I'm not a game developer, so I could be off on that, but overall, this is a great game. I'm really glad that I got it. I don't know, it just feels a lot different. You can definitely tell they focused on things like shading, textures. Textures is something I forgot to mention. Just really great. They got a lot of these materials down and stuff like that. So, yeah, I have no problem with this game really at all. I've been absolutely enjoying it. And I know I'm going to continue to do so, and hopefully you guys will continue to enjoy watching this. So, but I am going to show one more PS3 game of Nolan Ryan. That's a gap shot. And I've been pitching so well, too. And I also have one more Jackie Robinson one to show. And now that I think about it, I do have one more athletics game I want to show, just so that way I can make sure I hit every single series with that. I was going to go ahead and post them all today in conjunction with this, but since I'm not feeling that good, I'm just going to go ahead and head to sleep right after I get all of these rendered and started to upload. But I wanted to make sure I got these on here as soon as I could for you. But Yeah, if you guys are kind of on the fence on whether or not to get this game, I definitely recommend it. So, anyway, Nolan Ryan draws a walk here. I think that's the first walk that he's thrown here in the minor leagues. So that's not something I like to start. I'm giving up a lot of deep hits. Now, fortunately for me, a lot of these are being caught, but in instances like this, where I've got somebody on third, that's not a good thing. I mean, I don't think it's a good thing in general, too, because if they keep getting all those deep fly balls, they're making pretty good contact with it. And I think that's just an indicator for me to go ahead and change things up. So, 2-1's the score. Another high fly ball. It looks like my center fielder will be able to get there and make the catch and end the inning. So I don't know how much longer they're expecting Nolan Ryan to be able to stay in here. But, I mean, I'd say I've had a pretty successful game thus far, only giving up 1 run. I do have the first walk and the first run that I've given up in minor league baseball. So kind of a little bit of a spoiler alert for the PS3 episode I'll be posting. But that'll be it. I mean, just that last one. So, all right, I am officially tired. The count is full. And that one, I'll be able to get underneath and make the catch. All right, there we go. So, in this game, I've been throwing a lot of pitches that San Antonio's been able to go ahead and foul away. So I'm sitting at 91 for my pitch count here, which is a little bit more than I would be expecting to throw. But my stamina is about 60 right now, just where I started off. So I won't be pitching too many 9-inning games for some time. So I'll have to work to get that up here as quickly as I can. But stamina is one of those things that will really go ahead and get you get your attributes up pretty quickly. So with Nolan Ryan, I mean, I am also kind of on the fence on what I want to be focusing on, because I do want to get some more control with my pitches, because a lot of the pitches that I've thrown that have ended up being balls have just been completely off of where I wanted it to be originally. So, I don't know. We'll see what develops, though. I mean, if I go stamina or the pitches, strike 3 to end the game. But I'll keep you guys in the loop, of course. So I get sat down here in the 8th inning. Not too bad of a game. 5 strikeouts. Only allow 1 run, and I do get the win. So that puts me at 3-0. So every appearance I've had ended up being a win. So thanks for watching, you guys. Hopefully you guys will continue to watch more of the Nolan Ryan series. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Remember, you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, all that great jazz. But you guys are phenomenal people. You really are. Thanks for watching. And as always, you guys, I hope you have a good one.